Bonus content. Haha, I didn't see that coming. So in my last video, we talked about Act 4, Scene 1 and Act 4, Scene 5. Friar Lawrence and Juliet planning for her to take the poison, and then her family's reaction to thinking she's dead. I skipped over Act 4, Scene 3, which to me is the other significant scene in Act 4. And I had not originally included it in the work that we did with Act 4 just for time constraints. But you were still expected to read Act 4, Scene 3, and I think it's a good one. So let's take a look at Act 4, Scene 3. For me, I always think of Act 4, Scene 3 as the moment when Juliet takes the potion that will make her look dead, appear dead, and not be actually dead. And I love this scene, and it's often cut from productions and from films. And I don't like that because I think this is an important part of Juliet's agency. She is not just a dumb, 13-year-old girl in love. She's a person who's smart and intelligent and thinks about things, and in some ways is a little more thoughtful than Romeo. And so this moment of questioning herself and questioning her choices is really important, I think. And a lot of text is devoted to Juliet's dilemma here about taking the potion. Okay. So the scene starts with the nurse saying, "Oh, I'm going to put you to bed. Oh, tomorrow's your wedding day. I'm so excited." And Juliet's like, "Just go. Get out of here. It's fine. Everything's fine." And then we come to our first part of her soliloquy. Okay. So she starts, she's speaking to the nurse. "Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins that almost freezes up the heat of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene, I needs must act alone. Come, vial. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No. This shall forbid it. Lie thou there." Okay. So first of all, we need to know what a vial is. A vial is a glass bottle that contains the potion. Sorry. Vial. This is a giant vial. I need a little vial. Come, vial. Wouldn't it be amazing if I pulled a vial out of here? It's a tiny sharpener. Come, vial. That's the closest thing I got. Come, vial. Okay, so she's holding the vial. Come, vial. I don't have a good vial. So let's see here. She's saying, she's about to take it. She hesitates. She actually puts it down. She's not ready yet. Let's see about poetic devices here. Let's look first for line 2. Let's look at line 2. I think this is an interesting one. There's some nice alliteration in this line. Nice alliteration. So we see faint, cold fear, and then we have thrills through my veins. We have alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of the beginning sound of words. Not the letter necessarily, the sound, because we know that some different letters make different sounds. Alliteration, okay? So we have 2 examples here. Faint, cold fear and thrills through my veins. And there's even kind of a related one with a V going with the Fs. Yeah, that's alliteration. The tricky part of alliteration is, what does it mean? Why? What can we analyze? What meaning is revealed through alliteration? And that's where I want you to think about the sound. Is it soft and gentle, or is it harsh? Does it sound like a snake hissing? Does it sound like whispering? Does it sound like humming? What does it sound like? So faint and thrill. So these are very soft sounds. They're also very whispery sounds. Remember, she's in her room, maybe the nurse is probably right outside the door, and she's holding this potion, and she's trying to be quiet. Faint, cold fear thrills through my veins. I also just love that she's giving the fear that she has a sense. It's cold, right? Again, there's a lot of cold that's going to come up in Act 4 because of death. When we die, we're cold. So I think that's interesting. Again, it's not a poetic device, but it is some interesting word choice. And I love the use of thrills, the verb. This is the verb. It thrills through my veins. What a verb choice. What an amazing verb. It's thrilling. So she's nervous. She's excited because, again, this might work. This might save her, but she's scared, right? Thrills have that tinge of fear. I really love this line, a faint, cold fear thrills through my veins, like racing, like a roller coaster. Really love that. Then let's look at that almost freezes up the heat of life. The heat of life. What are they referring to there? The idea that when you're alive, your body has warmth, the heat of life. Again, we're returning to this idea of cold and freezing, right? She's going to be dead. Her body will be cold. She's also, fear is associated with a cold feeling. So we've got some sensory imagery. Imagery, remember, are the 5 senses, words that express sight, sound, smell, taste, or touch. There's actually more than that. We won't get into it though. Organic imagery. But we have tactile imagery, touch, cold, freeze, right? She's associating temperatures with her feelings. I nearly forgot. There is an apostrophe in this little speech too. There's an apostrophe. Or think to yourself, define an apostrophe in your head right now. Okay, an apostrophe, hopefully your definition matches mine, is when a character speaks to someone or something that cannot respond. It could be an apostrophe because they are speaking to an object, or it could be an apostrophe because they are speaking to someone who is a person but is either not there or is dead. And here is the apostrophe, come, Vial. Speaking, okay, Vial, come here. Yes. And later she says, lie thou there. She's speaking to it. Okay, Vial. But a vial of potion, a little bottle of potion, can't speak back. So that is an apostrophe. Okay, let's look at a little passage here that comes a few lines later. So Juliet sets down the vial, and then she starts to doubt her choice. Should she take this potion? Is it going to work? Here's one thing she says. How if, when I am laid in the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in, and die there strangled ere my Romeo comes? Okay. So she's saying, what if I'm put into my grave? Now, when she says tomb, let me show you what she means. Okay. Here I have added, by the magic of the internet, a picture of a mausoleum. This is a mausoleum or a tomb. If you've been to an old cemetery, you might often see individual gravestones, but then there are these buildings that are often made of stone called mausoleums, and the family often has them. Again, the Capulets are a wealthy, prominent family in Verona. So they have a mausoleum where family members are buried, and they would literally lay the bodies kind of on a stone shelf. Sometimes they would be cremated and put in, that's more modern. These would be bodies that were sort of in a tomb within there. So, okay, that's the mausoleum. So she's worried that what if she goes in and, let's see, words we don't know. Redeem me. This interesting word. Redeem, redemption, right? To redeem something she means come get me. But to redeem means to make up for or to fix, right? To be saved. So that's an interesting verb there. Stifled means suffocated. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, right? She might be in a little vault section of this mausoleum where her body is laid, to whose foul mouth no healthsome air breathes in. Healthsome is another word for healthy. And die there strangled. Again, we have stifled, strangled, ere my Romeo comes. Remember, ere means before. So let's talk about this for a second. There is a personification here. There's a personification. So personification, you want to look for something human, something that we only say about people. And that is here, personification. She's comparing the doorway to the tomb, personification, to a mouth. She's talking about this. This is she's imagining as a mouth. Yes, the mouth, the gateway, the opening. Oh, wow, I'm really writing badly. Sorry, mouth. It's very hard to write with a mouse. Okay, so this is the mouth that she's imagining. She's imagining that there's no healthsome air, or she's imagining the mouth of her vault that she's going to be locked in will let no fresh air in. Will she suffocate in there? Yeah. So there is a nice personification. I do like the choice of this verb, redeem, save me, right? Redeemed is often used in Christianity. It's a little bit of an illusion, this idea of being redeemed, being going to heaven, or when Jesus Christ arises after 3 days after being crucified, he ascends to heaven. That's often talked about as being redemption, the Redeemer. By believing in the Christian faith, you are redeemed, you are saved. That's an interesting one. Like, she's his savior, his Messiah. And this is a mouth that breathes air. There's not a lot else going on there. I just want to point out, this is her debating. She's got a dilemma. Should I do this? Should I not? Is this safe? Is this unsafe? What am I doing? What if? She's actually thinking of all the things that could go wrong, which is quite mature. And it's quite scary to be locked into a tomb with dead bodies. The next part of her speech, she talks about Tybalt's body's in there. I'm going to be next to him. All right. Okay, the last little bit I want to talk about is right at the end of Juliet's soliloquy, her speech, as she's about to take the potion, the vial, is she considers the reality that she'll be buried in the same mausoleum, same tomb, same building as Tybalt. And she's got still that conflict over the man she loves killed her cousin, who she also loved. And how does she reconcile that? So she starts to sort of see visions and imagine what that's like. And she says, "Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, I come. This do I drink to thee." And then she goes to sleep. Okay, so let's look at sort of what she's doing here. Methinks means I think. I love the word methinks. We should bring it back. My cousin's ghost, here she's talking about Tybalt. Yeah, Ty. She sees his ghost. He's seeking out Romeo, that did spit his body upon a rapier's point. Okay, not spit. Spit, like, have you ever seen how they roast chicken? Or let's say, like, in a movie set in an old time period, they catch a rabbit and they put the rabbit on a stick and then they roast the rabbit over a fire. That is a spit. That is a stick over a fire. Yeah. And upon this, we roast a bunny or a chicken or, oh my God, I'm going to do a really bad job here. Yeah, over the fire to eat. This stick is called a spit. Yes, a spit. We call this roasting on a spit, okay? And then we have rapier. This is a sword, yeah, on the rapier's point. So she has a little metaphor here. She is comparing Romeo killing Tybalt to an animal getting stabbed onto a stick to cook it onto a rod. So we have a little bit of a metaphor there. Not literally. He's not a rabbit. He's not a chicken on a metal spike over a fire. Yeah. This is a metaphor. And she's saying, I can imagine that Tybalt is going to want his revenge on Romeo. When Romeo comes to get me, Tybalt's ghost is going to maybe try to attack Romeo in revenge. And then she says, stay, Tybalt, stay. That doesn't mean stay here. It means stop. Don't keep moving. Don't come at me. Stay there or stay still. Yeah. And then she says, Romeo, I come. What do we call the poetic device when someone talks to someone or something that cannot answer? Can Tybalt answer? No, he's dead. Can Romeo answer? No, he's not there. We call that an apostrophe. I'm just going to put apos because I can't write this whole word again. It's too hard with my mouse. Apostrophe. We have an apostrophe. So she's talking to both Tybalt and Romeo. And then she says, Romeo, I'm coming. This do I drink to thee, like cheers. Drink it all. Okay, excellent. This was your bonus content on Act 4, Scene 3, a very important scene where Juliet makes the decision to follow through on the plan, drink the potion that will make her look fake dead, but she has moments where she's not sure if she's going to do it. All right. Thanks, guys.